Introducing the humble coconut. Coconuts are great. They're delicious, nutritious, versatile and a great source of fiber. But have you ever really looked at a coconut? I'm sure you're aware that it's got 3 darker spots called eyes. But have you ever noticed that one of those eyes looks different from the other 2? That third eye is so soft that if you press it with your fingernail, you can feel it give a little bit. It is this third eye that gives you access to the first of the treasures that the coconut has to offer: coconut water. Of course you can use a corkscrew or even a drill to get into the coconut, but if you know the coconut well enough, even a bamboo skewer will do. Once the coconut is opened up, it just takes a bit of shaking to get the water out. And while any given coconut might not contain that much coconut water, just like any fruit juice you can stretch it quite a bit by adding some water, some acids such as lemon juice and a sweetener of your choice. So let's start by celebrating the coconut with a glass of coconut lemonade. Next up is getting to the flesh of the coconut. Using a hammer for that doesn't seem to be too uncommon in the West, but it's overcomplicating things. Seriously, no tools required, just find a hard enough surface, then whack the coconut onto it and there you go. Whack again as needed. There you go, that wasn't too hard. With a bit of luck, you can even keep the flesh in one piece, which is beneficial if you choose to take the brown peel off later. A standard potato peeler will work a treat for that. It's an entirely optional step, but the end result will just look a bit better. There are many torture devices out there that allow you to shred up the flesh of your coconuts. But since we've already peeled ours, and I don't own a dedicated coconut scraper, I'm using a far scarier, far more dangerous device to tear up the flesh of my coconut. It has caused me many ouchies. So once you've grated your coconut, add boiling water, blend it all up, then pass everything through a sieve and press out as much coconut milk as you can. Then repeat the process once more, squeezing out as much liquid as you can and reserving the dry coconut for later use. Unless you have heat-proof hands, I highly recommend wearing gloves for this. By now we have produced coconut water, a thick coconut cream floating on top of a thin coconut milk, a medium coconut milk and shredded coconut, which when dried will be the same thing as the desiccated coconut you get in your baking department. Let's take it a step further and make some coconut oil as well. To make coconut oil, we start off with coconut cream. Once a jug of coconut milk has been stored in the fridge for a while, it will separate out and the coconut cream will come floating on top. You can skim off this cream and move it to a separate container and you'll end up with just the purest coconut cream. Of course what's left behind is mostly water, and as we are reducing down the coconut milk this will evaporate anyway, but we can save some time and energy by evaporating just the good stuff. Other than that, making coconut oil is just a matter of reducing down coconut milk and stopping when there's no more water to evaporate. But coconut milk doesn't consist of only water and fats. There are some solids in there as well. At the end of the evaporation, these solids will clump together and they will eventually start browning. At this point, our coconut oil is basically done. The solids themselves end up with a texture that's a bit like ricotta or scrambled egg. It's quite fluffy and bouncy and rather nice with a bit of golden syrup. As for the actual coconut oil, as you can see there's not that much of it to be had from a single coconut. Still I thought it was worth a mention because it's one of the easiest kinds of oil to make. Coconut oil will only set once it's cool enough, below 24 Celsius or 76 Fahrenheit. So that leaves us with the shredded coconut. Ours hasn't been dried off yet, but that's going to change soon enough as we're making a little coconut based side dish which will go great with all that fried rice people have been making. The dish is called serundeng and is well known in Indonesian cuisine. While it's traditionally made with wet spices, a pretty decent version of it can be made with dry spices in about 5 minutes flat. It takes shredded coconut, some sugar, turmeric powder, galangal powder or ginger powder, about the same weight in salted peanuts as you used in coconut, and perhaps a little bit of fish sauce to boost the umami a bit. That's a completely non-traditional addition, so leave it out if you don't fancy it. You want to get a balance between sweet and salty, and make sure that the sugar melts but doesn't burn. Once cooled down, the caramelized sugar will crystallize and give a bit of crunchy texture to the coconut. Best served with nasi goreng, an Indonesian style fried rice. All that's left to do now is to nom. If you enjoyed this video, please do the usual clicky thing and I'll see you next time. Bye!